Hey, what's up, guys? Got a different video today. I figure since I have this collection here, I haven't really. I think I went through my collection like in one of my really early videos, and like a really, it was really bad. But I figure like do something different. Go through like a top five of things that I find cool in this collection that I've amassed. Um, I know it's not the biggest collection at this point. I'm sure there's people that, there's what, the Stellar Christoph guy. Um, he might have every single Stellar known to man. I don't have the budget for that. But, I still think I have some pretty cool, unique stuff in mind. So I just want to share it with you guys. This will have more edits in it. It's going to be a little different than the other videos I've had. I've got to get the stuff off the shelf to here. So if you see things, you know why. But yeah, I hope you guys just enjoy it. All right, first item. Like I said, I've been in this from basically day one, right? The day that I think Dan announced Alestrals, I was like, it's a pretty sick idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a cool concept. So the first item's obvious. It's the prototype sealed decks that I have. I'm going to be very careful not to drop these, but I'll show each individual one. You got Majesty, you got Trifernal. I've never opened them. I was like, listen, as a kid, I missed the Pokemon train, so I'm not going to screw this up. I believe in the product. And I think with what Dan has created right now, it's a pretty expansive, even though it's only been 2 years old. I think maybe 3 years old since these came out, but and this is the funny one because instead of the Penterror, it's Stratamoth, which I think is a good idea to basically, I think Penterror is probably going to be the Charizard of this game. And Stratamoth just doesn't hit the same as Penterror does. But, it's like, it was just a cool thing that I kind of foresaw. I was like, listen, this seems like the start, and I think this is going to be something that's going to be very rare in the future. And yeah, so I just had to jump on it and first item. All right, so the next item I think I don't think it's the most unique item in the collection, but it's definitely one of the cooler things to come out of Kickstarter. And I think the metal Penterror card's really cool. I'll take it out of the package. I don't know the quality of it or whatever, but only the people, I don't remember what tier, or if this was every tier, maybe it was the top 2 or 3. It's just one of those things that like is never going to be made again. And I don't know if they've made a metal card since. It would be kind of cool if they did. I know a lot of the other promos have been unique cards in themselves, but I think this potentially is the most unique of all those promos. And I hold it in pretty high regard in my collection. All right, the next one, it's the classic, right? It's the classic that I think is going to go down in history. The Kickstarter booster box. Obviously, I wish I had the prototype to match with the prototype starter decks, because I have, let's put this over here. I have, first edition Frostfall Daybreak, and then the Kickstarter one, which it's going to be an iconic piece, right? I've got a couple more of these. This is my display one. But it's just, I think the vision of what Dan was looking for in creating a nostalgic moment of revisiting like our Yu-Gi-Oh or our Pokemon days. I never got into Magic, but I can imagine it's got to be similar. Was kind of met with this. I never opened up booster boxes per se back in the day, but like I remember going to the gas station or Kmart, if anybody remembers that, and begging my grandma and my mom to like buy me Pokemon cards. So it's like this experience of opening the booster boxes in that first wave after Kickstarter was like, I don't want to say it was the peak because it definitely wasn't the peak, but like the excitement level I think was right up there with all of our like Pokemon experiences. So obviously this has to be on the list. It would be criminal not to put it in this video. All right. So second to last one. It's, I don't know if this isn't cheating, I don't think. Is the collection of either the first edition or Kickstarter versions of the starters, right? The I guess I'll say mascot cards. I know this isn't like, it goes back to the prototype, right? I always put Stratamoth in these, right? Because I think it's one of the more iconic Elestrals, because it did get the boot out of the prototypes, but it's part of history, I think. In that Imperial, having all of these is like having the Charizard, the Venusaur, the Blastoise of each generation of Pokemon, right? And it's just like, it's cool to have at least, I think I have at least 2 or 3 of each. But you got Imperowat. Who knows how iconic these are going to be in the games per se, or at least the card games. But as far as collectibles go, like, this is a cool thing to have. Like, I love the Chronodile. Like, that card is just a beautiful card. I mean, obviously there's glare and whatnot, but you can get the gist. And I also I know this isn't a starter deck one, but this is obviously meant to be like a Mystic level. I like to call them Mystics. I don't know if that's like the proper term for these, but I think Mystic is probably a pretty fitting term for Elestral's legendaries. But you got Pantera, you got Trifernal, and then Centarbor, which is honestly one of my top favorites. It's grown on me more as time has gone on. But that's my goal, is to, display one and not open it. And then, from first edition to present day, open one, save one. Kickstarter was a little different because I went a little heavier into it. So I have a lot. I've got a decent amount of Kickstarter Mystic cards and whatnot. But it's just a cool collection to have of all the 3-drop cards. That I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have that, but I'm not sure how many. All right, I know I said that was my second to last one, but I'm cheating. Okay, I'm doing 6 instead of 5. Because I think I'm not a completionist in the regular cards. I like to have at least a play set of every card in the set. But in this case, this specific thing, I absolutely was a completionist. When it came to Shattered Stars, right? As soon as I saw the stained glass and the marble statues, and lesser so the full art spirits, they're cool. I had to have every single marble statue and stained glass. Like, these cards are phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. Like, And the fact that they're never going to be printed again after each month is just a collector's dream, right? Like, obviously, in the monthly subscription, you're getting ridiculous value out of. I think I do 3 bundles for $50. I mean, each one of these cards is just stunning. Even the worst, like this one is. I think this is my favorite. I know a lot of people like this one the most, but I think this one's still the best. The value you're getting out of being able to get cards that are playable, one, in the common part of the decks, but also the value of getting a collectible card that's going to be so rare in the future and printed at such limited quality or quantity is just a dream, right? So I was like, by every means possible, I have to get at least one of the stained glass and marble statue. I mean, look at that Zeus. Look at that Zeus. The Keone, unbelievable. The Demeter, the artwork is phenomenal. Aeolus, it's all right. It's good. I mean, and if that's the worst card in the collection, it's great. This is I think this was Solar. Festus, unbelievable art. Poseidon, unbelievable art. And then this is Artemis, right? Artemis, the newest one. Unbelievable. Shattered Stars is just a great product that I think if you haven't gotten into it yet, it's not too late. I think they're $15. Is it $15 a bundle? $15 a bundle, something like that. I think long term, these cards are well worth what you're paying today. Obviously, it's like I know not everybody has $50 a month. Depending on the month, I might not, but but it's just these are just beautiful cards. They're beautiful cards, and it helps you get into the game because the common cards are pivotal cards to the game, but also you can build a collection just around those. But yeah, Shattered Stars, if you haven't subscribed yet, go and get as many bundles as you can. Or you should be able to find a good amount of them at like a reasonable price on the marketplace right now. I just think that's a great collection to have. All right, this is the last one, I promise. I promise. And these are the crown jewel of the collection. A lot of the other things that I showed are cool, but there's something special about these 3 cards that make them extremely unique and extremely valuable to me in the future. The first one being the Aerowat. I know this isn't as rare as it was supposed to be. I think I pulled this out of I think it was a Cryoscorch starter deck. I'm not sure, but I think the history of this is going to be hilarious. It's supposed to be a Shattered Stars exclusive stellar 1 out of 10, and then it ended up there was a bunch of them, right? It is scattered throughout Frostball. Frostball was an interesting time, and I know Dan probably would agree with that. But it seems as if the issues that happened in Frostfall fixed Daybreak. And I think that will move the quality control forward. And I think this right here this may be the turning point of the quality control in Elestrals that's going to boost it forward, right? Sometimes you have to get punched in the mouth to realize, I don't want to get punched in the mouth anymore. But having this in the collection is 1, cool. 2, it's rare, and I think this is a turning point card for the game. Next one. Well, actually, let's do this one first. I have two Stellars, right? And if you've listened to videos before, or if you're just stumbling upon it now, this Sonicore Stellar is actually very funny. I think I opened eight Kickstarter booster boxes. I had a bunch of cards. I just started throwing them in the binder. And like later that day, I was like searching through, and I was like, I saw the regular Sonicores, and then I stumbled upon this one, and I'm like, that one looks different. That one looks weird. And then I see the symbol, and I was like, bro, this is how I pulled my first Stellar. And I just didn't even realize it because it was so new. I didn't know. I knew that there were Stellars in there, but I wasn't paying attention. Now the next one is also funny. This one actually, hindsight is wild. So I sold a good amount of my boxes, right? Not right after Kickstarter, but to get some money back for future sets and whatnot. And I was gonna send out a box, but the cellophane was like ripped more than I would feel comfortable with sending it out. So I switched out with another box. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna open this box because why not, right? It ended up having a Stellar and Furyx in it, and I was like, dude, I could have just sent this box out. I mean, I don't know how many Stellars. There might be a Stellar behind me right here. There most likely is. I don't care. I like showing off the sealed product. But like this one was supposed to go to somebody else, but because the cellophane was ripped, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna open it. It sucks, but it is what it is. And it ended up paying out. But yeah, I mean those are the stories of my Stellars, and I think all three of them have like an interesting story behind them, right? And I think there's a history to all of these cards, and I'm hoping that in the future that Elestrals is just massive, right? And I think all of us in the community hope that as well. And I think Dan is doing everything in his power to make that happen. But yeah, that concludes my video. I hope this was interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see how many more videos I have in the future. There's not a whole lot of product, and I've also said that I want to get back into competitive, but having a newborn's kind of tough with that. He's presently sleeping right now, so it gave me the time to make this video. But yeah, till the next one, have a good one.